What's going on, my beautiful governors? Welcome to a new Rise of Kingdoms video. Today I'm going to give you guys 5 super helpful hacks / tips for beginners and intermediate players. People who play the game for a very long time probably knows about these tricks, but still there might be a tip that you are not aware of, so I advise you to check it out and see if you learned anything new. Without further ado, let's start with numero uno. On one of my previous Rise of Kingdoms tips and tricks video, we talked about why you should have at least one T1 cavalry troop. Long story short, T1 units are a lot faster than higher tier units, so that T1 cavalry you can march anywhere on the map really fast. Today's tip is related to that because in our last KVK I've seen bunch of players who were sending T1 cav troops to grab runes or participate in building slow flags. But what I've noticed is after, let's say, they grab the rune, maybe they are going to teleport somewhere, right? So they just simply recall the march and wait for it to come back to their city. What you need to do is suiciding that one troop to a barbarian so it comes back a lot faster and you don't have to wait that long. Here is an example. I have my Belisarius in here, one troop, and that troop is just cavalry. If I call Belisarius back, it takes 37 seconds. Now I'm gonna go back. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna suicide. 15 seconds, 20 seconds, like what happened? Why did it immediately jump to 20? But now it says 8. Yeah, I think it kind of glitched. So like it's supposed to be almost 100% faster, like 2 times faster than the usual. And you think it's not much, but if a rune is like 10 minutes away, for example, if I wanted to grab a rune in here, it's 100 kilometers away, so it actually helps a lot. Don't underestimate it. Train that T1 cavalry, and after you send it, when you are done with it, just suicide it to a barbarian so it comes back a lot faster. Our next tip is about training. So you have spent a bunch of money or a lot of time and finally unlocked your T5. But should you train T5s immediately? The answer is yes and no. You will most likely have one really good match to use in PvE events. For example, in early games, early kingdoms, you can use Alex and YSG, and then Guan and Alex, and later on maybe Harold, CPO, XY, Nevsky, all those amazing commanders. And for that match, specifically for playing PvE events such as Karak Ceremony, Arms Training, Cyrillic Crisis, Ian's Ballot, yes, you want to train T5s. This way, you can upgrade your power to play those events on the hardest difficulty, and you will have the troops to contribute well during those events, as I said, such as Cyrillic, Ian's Balance, etc. This was the yes part, and here is the no part. Once you have enough troop for that one march, you should stop training T5s and keep training T4s like you did before. The reason is events like these. Let me show you real quick. This one, Overwhelming Strength, power-up events, training events, and if you're in Season of Conquest, we will have Bastion quests to train certain amount of troops, gaining power from training certain amount of troops. And during those events, training T5s is not the most optimal way. Instead, what you want to do, upgrade those T4s into T5. Because, let me show you this. I'm just going to speed this up. I don't want to wait. How many points we have? We have 20k, right? Now, what I'm going to do is check out this one, 1 day and 22 hours. And I'm going to train T5 troops, 2000 train, and I'm going to speed this up. Boom, it's done. 1 day and 22 hours, and it gave us 20k. So in almost 2 days of speed ups, we got 20k. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to upgrade this into T5. It's 15 hours and 20 minutes. Upgrade it, boom. So it's like 40% of the time, and the return is 12k. So we are spending less than 50% of the speed ups, but in return, we are getting more than 50%. To be exact, let's do the math real quick and see the actual results. So on the first one, we got 20,000 points. And for speed ups, it was 1 day and 22 hours. So it was in total 46 hours. So if we divide 20k to 46, The result is 434. So we got 434 power per hour speed up. Now let's take a look at the other one. It was 16 hours and 20 seconds. Let's say it was 17 hours, right? No problem. We got 12k points. We spent 17 hours of speed ups. The return is 705 points per 1 hour of speed up. You can see like it is a lot better training T4s and then upgrading them into T5s during those power up events, or as I said, if you guys didn't know, in Season of Conquest you will have Bastion quests, and some Bastion quests requires you to gain power from training certain amount of troops, and that's when you want to upgrade your T4s into T5s. Long story short, during your downtime in your home kingdom, you want to train T4s, and during events and during Season of Conquest KVK with the Bastion quest, you want to upgrade those T4s to T5. Now the next tip is a bit controversial, but we are gonna test it live. It's about crafting equipment. So here's the hack. If you are trying to get a special talent on a legendary piece or epic piece, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is craft 4 white pieces first. Do not get any special talent on them. If you get a special talent, just start over. And if you don't get special talent on your first 4 crafts on your white item, then craft your actual equipment as the 5th one. Some people say it works, some people say it doesn't, but with this method, we actually managed to, where is it? We actually managed to get a special talent on our Shield of the Eternal Empire live on stream like a month ago. We are gonna try to see if this hack actually works or not. So what we're gonna do is quickly craft 4 sharp longswords, and we don't want to get any criticals. I'll probably just speed this up. Let's do that. We got a critical on the first try. Oh my. So we crafted 4 pieces with no special talent. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna craft a Vengeance just to experiment that. If you guys don't know why I'm crafting a Vengeance, I explained on my previous video. I will either use it on my Pakal and Herald or any March with Herald because I don't have Pakal yet. And until then, I'm gonna use it on Satsukeda. Come on, baby. Show everyone this hack is actually works. Come on, please. It's a hack. It has to work. No. Oh my god. Okay, so that hack doesn't work anymore. RIP. So I think this video becomes 4 hacks / tips instead of 5 because obviously this one is not working. RIP. Right, so the next tip is a bit annoying for other players, but I'm just gonna tell this anyway. It's a pretty crazy way to get 20 Legendary Commander sculptures, even for free to play. I'm talking about Race Against Time. If you guys don't know this event, simply you start the event and a countdown starts. What you need to do is kill the most amount of barbarians until time hits 0. The thing is, if you're in KVK and if you plan to migrate away from that kingdom, high level barbs, aka KVK barbs, gives a lot more points. So what you can do your best, get a decent point in the KVK, and then after you get a lot of points, what you do is you migrate to another kingdom where this event is also active, Race Against Time, and that kingdom must be a home kingdom. I mean, you can't migrate to a kingdom that's into KVK anyway, so that's irrelevant. So you're gonna migrate to a kingdom, and since you are coming from a KVK kingdom, you killed a lot of high level barbs. No one can get the first place. You simply guarantee your first place unless someone else also does it. As I said, it's a pretty cheeky one. I don't know if you should do it or not because it's super annoying for other players, but here it is. 20 sculptures, almost guaranteed. Kill high level barbs during Race Against Time event in your KVK map because KVK barbs like 50, 55 gives a lot of points, and with those points migrate to another kingdom and you will keep your points and you will get 20 sculptures because you pretty much guarantee the first place because you killed high level barbarians and you have so many points. No one can catch you. I'm sorry, I actually forgot what was my tip number 5. I think next time I'm gonna take notes. I mean, I have a bunch of tips on my mind, but I cannot remember which ones we've talked about before in previous tips and tricks videos. So I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to give you guys the same tips and tricks because that will be boring. Hopefully, until I edit this video, I will remember what was that tip number 5, so I can just give you guys that. But if I cannot, I will make sure that I'm gonna talk about it in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I see you on the next one. Bye. And sorry for not having tip number 5. I guess I'm getting old. RIP.